Do you have a favorite Halloween Havoc, Tony?
No, not really. The one I remember the most had to be 91 because
It was bad.
Yeah, it was bad. And we fried
Abdullah.
Abdullah the Butcher. Yeah. Braves were in the World Series at that time, baseball wise. So I remember all of that. I remember being in Chattanooga. I remember the drive back. I remember a lot about that Halloween Havoc, probably more than any others. And that's odd, isn't it? That I would remember that one.
I don't think it's odd. I think it's, wasn't that far from your house at the time and all that jazz. I loved Halloween Havoc 1990 the most. It's weird because I discovered wrestling in like 88 and was just a WWF kid. But then my dad, he worked as a prison guard at the time, and a guy he worked with, him and his kid were big NWA fans. So my dad would get the WWF pay-per-views and then take a tape to work the next day. Well, the other guy would record the WCW/NWA pay-per-views for us. So I was sort of late to the party on Sting, but I became a huge Sting fan in 1990. And him wrestling Sid and Lex Luger taking on Stan Hansen, and then the Steiners and the Nasties. This is, to me, as good as Halloween Havoc gets, man. I'm pumped that we're going to watch this one together.
Yeah, there's a couple of things I remember about it, not much, but one thing I think we can all say that the name Halloween Havoc is pretty darn cool.
Oh, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. We want you to watch with us. So pull your Peacock out. Just search for Halloween Havoc. Go to season 2, episode 1. That's Halloween Havoc season 2, episode 1. But Tony, as I understand it, we're not watching this alone today, are we?
No, we're not. We got a very good friend and a guy I respect the hell out of here in this business. Haven't known him that long, but I consider him a very good friend. And of course, you knew him long before I did, Conrad.
I mean, a real wrestling savant, one of the smartest people that you'll ever run into in wrestling, just oozing passion for professional wrestling. And now he's sharing that passion behind the scenes with AEW. And I'm so glad that he's got the opportunity to do that and to join us today. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the one and only Mr. Chris Hero. Chris, what's going on, man? How are you?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Conrad, Tony, thank you guys for having me.
Man, we're excited to be here with you. I can't wait to watch Halloween Havoc 1990. I think, Tony, we should do a playback and then let's ask Chris, why the hell are we watching Halloween Havoc 90? How's that sound? You got a countdown ready?
No.
Well, you just want to count us in old school?
Yeah, I'll count you in old school. Ready?
All right.
Okay. Here we go, everybody. By the way, hello to Mike Whitaker, Coach Rosie, Adam O'Neill, who's all with us this morning live. And Coach Rosie's always with us, which tells me that
he don't
usually
do shit.
I mean, he's from out on the West Coast. So it's like what, 6 a.m. there.
It is. Yeah.
So there's nothing more for him to do, but hook in with us in the morning.
I love when he hooks with us in the morning, Tony.
Do you?
He's a grade A hooker. First thing in the morning.
Okay. Josh Fields has joined us as well. And here we go. And 3, 2, 1, play.
So, Chris, I love this Halloween Havoc, and I know that we asked you, what did you want to watch? Why is this Halloween Havoc special to you? Why do you love this one so much?
Just watched it as a kid, and I mean, come on, Barry Windham with the cut hair, the face paint, like that blew my mind as a kid. Sid Vicious, also one of my absolute favorites when I was,
yes.
I would have been 10 years old, 10 going on 11. So when I think of Halloween Havoc, aside from Abdullah getting shocked, this is what comes to mind. And then of course, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention the Phantom of the Schiavone.
Wait a minute. This is the one, Chris? Oh my God.
The one and only.
Right.
The one and only.
How about this look here? We got Jim Ross. It looks like he just returned from a day trip to Cuba. And Paul Heyman dressed up like a vampire trying to suck the blood of the bloodline. What in the world?
Yeah.
With this being 1990, is that a Dick Tracy? Is that a yellow fedora?
Oh, look at you. You might be right. How about that?
Oh, man. Look at here.
I don't know what I'm more impressed with. Ricky Morton haircut. The idea that Tommy Rich has his t-shirt tied up in a knot and white knee pads, but a leather jacket because he's still cool. And then this mask. Tony, did you just have this mask in your collection already, or did you buy it special for this event?
No, I had it in my collection already. I was and still am a big fan of musicals.
What, you still have that mask?
It's probably in the attic somewhere. Yeah.
That's hilarious, dude. Some wrestling fan would love to have Tony Schiavone's Phantom of the Opera mask from Halloween Havoc.
Now, I want you guys to notice that on the left side of my face, I have the lipstick and have the lip painted because that's the way the Phantom had it painted. So I was authentic there. Okay. I was an authentic motherfucker right there. Okay.
I mean, what do you make of Ricky Morton and Wildfire Tommy Rich as a tag team here? This is an interesting looking pair, fellows.
I guess, Chris, we could say the Rock and Roll Express era was dead.
I just like how well how good Ricky's hair looks from the front. And it makes you think, like, did he cut the mullet?
I thought the same thing. No.
Yeah, he absolutely did not cut the mullet. It's 2024. He's still got that thing.
That's right.
The t-shirt and the tucked in look on the t-shirt is great.
It's like they were going for like a greaser look, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say he's one of the outsiders.
Yes, there you go. They're gonna walk around snapping and break out in song. Tony's gonna love it.
Pony Boy and Soda Pop.
Pony Boy, what a deep cut. Oh, and here he comes, the Rock and Roll Express. Man, I absolutely love Dennis Condrey. Got to see him a few weeks ago at the AEW show here in Huntsville. But I grew up on this version of the Midnight Express. This is what I was first exposed to. Now, of course, when I go back and I look at tapes, I loved Condrey's stuff, and certainly that's probably the best in-ring version of Midnight Express. But Stan more than held his own, didn't he, Chris?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, this is who I think of. I saw pictures of Condrey in like the old PWI magazines, the back issues and stuff that I'd get. And man, he had that like sleazy kind of look to him. He'd have like a bandana bow tied around his neck. But these two, when I think Midnight Express, this is what I think of because of my age.
Yeah. Of course, I think of Dennis Condrey, obviously, but I don't know. The last time I saw Stan, I guess, was at that Mid-Atlantic convention I did, Conrad, where you first saw me. And
yeah,
I haven't seen him since then, but back then he looked pretty damn good for his age.
I mean, I don't know what it is about his facial structure, but I mean, he looks like a smaller version of Lex Luger. This could be Lex Luger's cousin to me.
Okay.
I don't know why, but maybe it's his nose, but something about his face just makes me think, man, that guy looks like he could be related to Lex Luger. But I guess, Chris, as the story goes, or Tony, you lived it, Ric Flair is the guy who is responsible for getting Stan involved in big time wrestling. Is that right?
I don't know that story, but that would not surprise me.
What I remember about Stan, he was some kind of I want to say karate instructor, but something along those lines, correct?
I don't know if that was a kayfabe deal or not. I was under the impression that he worked at like some Florida beach resort and was pestering. You've heard that too. Okay.
Mm-hmm.